really push at it, because if they do end up having autism or anything like that, the sooner they can be seen and get therapy and stuff, the better.
Mama's Code.
Hey, mamas.
Hey, mamas. How are you? Are we ever going to get this on time, guys? How are you all?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
What's popping in the hood?
Do you know what? I've been eating so much, guys. Like 100%. I'm size 100 right now. I just had some rice and egg, and then I had a hot chocolate with some burger buns because, I don't know, they were going off tomorrow, so I thought, why not?
Waste not one bit.
And I've got a Magnum in the fridge waiting for me. So
do you know what's the worst as well? Is we're not even moving much, so
yeah, I know.
Literally,
we're getting is quite minimal.
It's boredom. Like, honestly, it comes around lunchtime. Bear in mind, we're having breakfast like at 10 and it's 12. And I'm like, do you want to have lunch? I'm bored.
Literally,
like,
we're eating because we're bored. Like today, like, I was like to Ollie, all day I've been sending him pictures of cake and custard, and I'm like, when you come back from work, could you bring me some cake? My man walks in without cake, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And then he's like,
Go
fine,
back.
I'll go get you some. And then, like, I've ate cake and custard, but I also had un buñuelo.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, when am I going to stop? And then just coming to sit here to record, had a banana.
Have you guys seen those posts that people putting up post-it notes on their fridge to say, don't open the fridge, you're just bored, you're not hungry? I think
I tried that. No, I went shopping today and I was long in it because I thought, you know, the longer I leave it, that, you know, the thinner I'll get. I was kidding myself because like today I bought everything, and like I think today my fridge is empty again because I just ate everything.
Guys, I've been banned from drinking rosé, by the way.
Why?
Every time I fall asleep.
You fall asleep without rosé as well?
Badly fall asleep waking up. Like, I might as well just stay
I bought ciders today. I was so excited.
No more alcohol.
Like the first thing I put in my basket, and I was like, yes! And then Ollie was like, wow, like you're so excited. Normally it would be like bread or let's get something for the kids. And it's like today we went straight past the alcohol section.
Oh, mate, being stuck at home, I think it's the only way through.
It's the only way the kids are going to survive.
Do you know how can I be on a call today with work and they're like, oh yeah, I'm past the like depressed phase now. I'm quite happy. I'm quite enjoying it. Every evening I'm cooking ourselves. We have a glass of wine, and I'm thinking to myself, you don't have kids, mate.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that I'm past the depressed? And they're like, oh, Melissa, cheer. I'm like, cheer. Why am I cheering up? I want to be at the office. I want to be at work.
Oh, mate, today we had an all hands. So like our CEO was talking, and how can my mind, so like they've, you know, like I've been telling you, they keep pushing like the work from home thing. We haven't even reached fucking May and he's already said June, and I'm like, hold on, let May come, hon. Like, you can't just push us out. I want to go back to the office, you know. I need some me time.
All of a sudden work becomes me time.
Yeah. So I could hide in a cupboard again. Here I can't. I don't have no cupboards to go into.
They'll find you anyway. So guys, let's get this started today. We have the lovely Jess who will be joining us. We just want to say a quick disclaimer that we will be touching topics around autism. As some of you may know, April is Autism Awareness Month.
Shout out to all them mummies and parents.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm currently at my mum's. Ella tiene canarios, perros, gatos. No joke. How are you ladies doing?
Good.
I am having some red wine.
How many kids do you have, for those that do not know?
I have three kids. A girl, she's 10, and a 3-year-old son, and a 5-month baby.
Ooh,
keeping it busy.
Congrats.
That is a handful.
It's a busy house. Never boring.
And your little girl's approaching the teenager years.
Definitely approaching the teenage years. She already thinks she's like 16. You can imagine she's trying to do her makeup and trying to tell me what to do.
Oh my God.
How to look after my kids.
Did you know when you were having a boy compared to your female pregnancy?
I think with my second child, that was a boy, I think I felt like an inkling, or maybe or de pronto podría ser more of a wish that it was a boy, but we got the boy. No, I was over the moon when I found out we were having a boy. I was over the moon. You know, the little couple, the boy, the girl. That was the plan.
But were there any differences in pregnancy?
Yeah, like so cravings,
or like morning sickness, or were they pretty much the same? Because you know, like there's that myth that, you know, with girls you have like morning sickness, and with boys you don't, and you glow with one and you don't glow with the other one.
Well, to be honest with you, all 3 pregnancies were completely different. Okay. Annabelle's pregnancy, physically, it was much better. It was like a neat pregnancy. Belly was small, in place. If I wore a baggy jumper, you wouldn't even know I was pregnant. Physically, I was all right. It was the crappiest pregnancy in the sense of maybe emotionally and the situation-wise that I was in. It was more, it took more of a toll on me in that way. But physically, it was the best one. I would only eat like fruits and veg, and they were kind of the cravings that I had. Then when I got pregnant with Ethan, I just went on a seafood diet. Todo lo que veía me lo tenía que tragar. You laugh, but when I tell you the extent of how bad I was eating, right? I went to work and I ordered myself a large pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut with the sides, with 2 sides and a drink. And I thought, well, I'll eat half the pizza and take the other half to my partner. Yeah. And I smashed the whole pizza plus the wing, the wedges and the chicken wing.
At that point, did you know you were having a boy? Like, was it like that from the get-go?
Yeah, I was really, really sick with Ethan. I think morning sickness was the worst with Ethan. All day, I would get sick if I ate.
Oh, girl.
I'd get sick if I didn't eat.
I'm with you on that one.
But then, having said that, Harvey... My last one, I think the first 3 months, I had morning sickness. It was so bad that I was working at the time and my boss was like, go home. Don't ever come back with your morning sickness. And I was like, oh.
Leave.
It was like, why are you here? I'd get on a train. It was so bad. I'd get on a train in the morning and I had to get off like at the 3rd stop because I needed to be sick. There was about twice. I didn't hold it on the train. So in the morning, when I get to the next train station, I get left at the train station with the attendants where they're like, try and take the bus. And I'm like, I need to get to work. I'm not trying to get a bus.
They must have been happy when you had the baby. Like, oh, she's gone now. She must be having the baby.
She told me not to come back with my morning sickness. I think I'm joking in the house. I threw up like 3 times. I'm a nanny usually, so I was meant to be looking after their kid, but I spent more time in the toilet than was looking after the kid. And she was like, I'm not here to look after you. Oh, yeah. To the 3 months, I left her house and then I slept the rest of my pregnancy. And 0 energy.
Went into hibernation.
So bad.
Literally, your term Mama Bear goes for you, boy.
Oh, Annabelle and my partner were like making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They were doing everything. I'd be like, I've got to lay down, I've got a headache, and then I'd be gone all day sleeping.
So pregnancy went very fast for you then?
Towards the end.
Until when you actually woke up.
Towards the end, he had me like, el último mes, it wasn't like he gave me 2 months of energy or anything like that. I like 3 weeks left of the pregnancy and I was like, yeah, I've got my nesting thing going on. No, stop.
Such a roller coaster for all different pregnancies, isn't it? It's so strange to see how same person, same body, completely different experience for each one.
What about labour-wise?
Yeah, labour.
Well, Annabelle, when I went to have Annabelle, I had an emergency cesarean. So my uterus with the contractions actually ripped. So then so when they opened me up, they had to stitch it all back up, but then it left my uterus quite weak. So I can't give a natural birth. So all 3 of them were planned. Mm-hmm. Annabelle and Ethan waited their turn, and Harvey was the only one that actually I went into actual labour with. That was interesting. That was funny. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning and I felt him pop.
Oh my God. But did you have him in C-section as well? Yeah. But you just went through the whole labour pains and stuff.
Pushing. They were like, I was in the ambulance, and they were like, you know, if you carry on dilating, you're just gonna have to like have your baby in the ambulance.
Oh my God.
Like, oh no. I was booked in the 24th for 7 o'clock in the morning, and he came the 24th at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Early.
Gosh, he's gonna be a handful. It's not when you guys wanted it, it's when he wanted to make an appearance.
Yeah, he was like, you said 24th, I'm coming the 24th. Don't try and make me wait.
Yeah.
All night I was in labour, and I like about 3 o'clock in the morning, I said to my partner, I think we're gonna have to call the ambulance. But I'd had so many like Braxton Hicks and gone in and out of hospital with false labour contractions. He was like, babe, like really wait it out. And then I felt it pop, and I was like, no, I think my water's broke.
So your water
ambulance and I was getting contractions like every 6 minutes apart. They were very, very close together. So the operator was like, lay your wife down, open her legs. You're gonna have to look inside and see if the baby's coming.
Stop it.
Mate, I'm sweating for you right now, hearing this as if it's happening.
I keep thinking, oh my God, was he born in the ambulance? But I know he was. You know, some stories like, oh my God, que será que pasa?
Yeah. Listen, then the ambulance came, everyone's looking at your hookah. Trying to see if the kid is coming out.
Was that the first time you experienced that? So obviously you said that they were planned C-section, so you didn't get to that stage.
Yeah, so I'd never actually gone through like the actual labour of labour pains and water and all.
So when this hit you, you're like, oh my God.
Like, but the whole month from October, my partner's birthday is on the 2nd of October, so we were like making a joke, he's got to come on your birthday. But literally from the 2nd of October, Harvey was like, I'm coming. He was like, hello, I'm coming. Sticking out his hand every now and again, but towards the end, it was hard.
I mean,
wow.
As well. Yeah.
That is a story and
a
half.
You have 2 kids already, so balancing that, like, how do you feel like you've approached parenting different now with, you know, you've got your 2 boys and your girl?
Yeah, I think since Harvey's come out, really, my youngest one, I've really kind of taken more of an easier approach to myself, to be honest. With Annabelle, I try and have, you know, that full routine structure and eating and with Ethan as well. And then when Harvey came, I just felt like I was putting all this extra pressure on myself and really stressing out on the kids, stressing out on myself if food isn't done at a particular time. And I was unhappy, you know, I felt like everything was caving in. So I think my approach after that was like, okay, well, take it easy. Don't stress about it. You've got tomorrow. And now with this isolation, we have and then time at home
every single day.
How has lockdown been with 3 children in the house at different ages?
It's been okay. Apart from it's hard, right? Because all 3 kids are kind of at different stages of what they're doing. So Ethan's more of a toddler and he has autism. So he has like his own kind of thing that he needs. And then Harvey's obviously a newborn baby, so he needs a lot of attention. So, I mean, I just make sure we're all kind of in a good mood, not overstressing each other out. If we're indoors for the next couple of whatever weeks, the last thing you need is to be stressing each other out. Yeah. Annabelle, have you done your English? Have you done your maths for 3 hours? You haven't? Why not? Why are you not using it? No, I'm not doing all of that, mate. Life is too short. I'm running around behind my Ethan's autistic, so he suffers from like insomnia and stuff like that. He needs hardly to little no sleep. So, but my guy can, you know, wake up at 9 in the morning and then carry on until 1 o'clock in the morning the next day. No naps,
Oh,
no
wow.
nothing. And the reason I kind of stopped the naps was because I thought he wasn't sleeping at night because of the naps. But it's not. He just
When she laughs at herself like, you are a fool. Who told you that?
And yeah, I mean, I think as long as we get most of our tasks done, I get to shower, I get to cook, my kids are fed, they're all dressed, and if I get to do our homework, it's a good day.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we've got the next day to retry and do all them things.
Especially now, like with the homeschooling, because I'm guessing when like everything was pretty much normal, Annabelle will go to school and you'd have like more of a relaxed approach with like Ethan and Harvey. But now it's obviously different. And like Ethan was still, Harvey was still very small when this happened, because we've been here in lockdown for how long now? But yeah, so tell us a bit about autism.
Well, the actual word autism, it means like development disability, which affect verbal and non-verbal communication and social interaction. So there's like really good websites out there about autism and that. So, I mean, I use stuff like autismspeaks.org and for somebody, when I first proper went into it, when I found out Ethan was autistic, I went into something called autism awareness, and they really show out the trait that autistic kids have or people have, repetitiveness, not looking when you're speaking to them like they're deaf. So Ethan, from like a very young age, kind of showed them traits of autism.
Did you know of it before it hit home?
So I've been nannying since I was 19. On and off. So it's been about 18 years. So first encounter of autism I had was a young boy that I looked after when I was a nanny. And I was with him for about 4 years with that family. So it wasn't completely new to me when Ethan came along. The good thing is about that, I suppose, with my nannying job is I've worked with so many kids, with normal kids with disability and stuff like that. I suppose it kind of it made me aware maybe of noticing development changes in him.
So would you say then, because you've had the exposure to more kids with you doing your nannying, you were able to maybe pick up on these main points?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a lot of people when they find out that I have an autistic child, I mean, straight away, it's, what kind of signs am I looking for? You know, like, I think I know I had someone say to me, I think my child might be autistic. What did you kind of look for, or what signs were kind of out there? The biggest kind of telltale sign that you want to look for is again, when you speak to them, it's like they're deaf, so they won't look at you. You know, look at their when you call them by their names or anything like that. Repetitive thing, behavior. So the same kind of song, like my son at the moment, he's 3, but he has a puzzle and it's like all little animals. So he'll get the puzzle, bring it over to me, and he'll just point at the lion, and I've got to go lion. And I'll point at the lion again, and it'll just be lion. Lion.
Do you know,
lion.
Do you know what? You say that, and that's quite interesting, because let's say, like, with you know, when you're learning about like parenting or children just in general, they will tell you kids will like to repeat things in general anyways, because that's how they learn. They might have a favorite song and rinse it out for months or years. I think we've all had scenarios like Baby Shark or, you know, Daddy Finger. We'll play it probably about 20 times a day, if not more.
I mean, me for once, I still listen to Gasolina every day, so...
There we go.
No, but it's very true what you say, because I remember there's this book called Bouncy Babies that I got in the free pack you get at the hospital. It's the first book that Leo had, and I would read it to him every single night, you know, getting into the routine. And then my sister made a comment, and she said, you know, he's probably crying because he bloody hates this book because he's tired of listening to the bouncy babies. And I thought to myself, oh my God, that's so true. So I started like looking at, maybe let me get him another bed night book. But then I came across this article saying that this is the way that children learn, through repetitive. And if you read the same book over and over and over again, it's just improving their language.
Oh no, Jess, and how do you feel like, because I have like a few people that I've known that have children with autism, and I've always encountered that change is a big thing for a child with autism. So adapting to changes in a routine. How is it dealing with that? Because obviously, like right now, this might not be normal for Ethan. You know, if it's affecting like normal adults that can kind of understand, I can't imagine what a child, you know, even our children, it's really hard. But for him, it must be that extra bit harder, you know, because it's like even like the best laid plans can go and like it could cause total havoc. So for this to happen now, it's obviously, it's like a shell shock to his system, because it's like, what the hell? Like, where's our walk? How are you dealing with it?
Well, the good thing is I've got like a great support system. My mum and her family are great. My in-laws are amazing as well. So in this time of tribulation, what we've done, we've sent him from one house a couple of days to go and stay in another house. So he's not confined because he has an issue of being in the same walls. So we're kind of just throwing him at each other. As long as he's happy, you know, which is the main thing. He doesn't get frustrated and stuff like that. But he's actually a very, very sweet boy, and he's quite calm. So he's great. He's not. There are some kids with autism that are more full on than what Ethan is. So I don't feel like I can really be complaining, because even when we're at home and he's had the whinge and moan, that he wanted to go out, especially when the sun's out. But in general, he's quite happy with maybe having some nursery rhymes in the background and then crap loads of toys, which is what I have at home. My house is a pit, but they're happy. He's happy. He's not, you know, screaming and crying, which is what you don't want when you're locked inside with a kid.
To be fair, I think everyone else's kids here are like that at the moment. I think they all need to go in the bin.
I think I wouldn't even mind myself, if I'm honest.
Mama, I love you.
You're saying you also, you know, Jess, you have your support system with your family. How about like our society? What's the word of the, like, it's not social workers, like healthcare visitors and people.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I applied for Ethan to get assessed when he was 18 months, and it took a process of a year to get him assessed.
Oh, wow.
Is 18 months the earliest that you can get a test done?
Like you said, before that, a lot of children babies do a lot of repetitive things anyway. So it's just easier when they're more, I'm guessing they're more entendidos, aren't they? So you kind of get the gist of what they're meant to be doing, more, I don't know, mature-y things. And ask for the bottle. So about 18 months, when babies start learning nursery rhymes and really start counting and saying words, and that's when they try and assess them to see how bad it is.
You said that it took about a year. Were there, I mean, this might just be me being very like gullible, but were there any tests that you thought this isn't very nice, or this might be a bit stressful for him?
No. They don't test them like that. Actually give them an actual test. So we got the referral done. I think we went to the office. They kind of saw him a little bit, measured him and weighed him. And then after, they came and assessed him at home.
Okay.
So what they did was they brought a couple of toys of their own and a couple of books of their own. It was about 3. It was a therapist, a pediatrician, and I can't even remember. She could just be, the third one could have been just someone that was learning or something. But they sang like nursery rhymes to see kind of how we interact. Ethan loves singing, so he'll sing "Winkle, Winkle." He doesn't say "Twinkle, Twinkle." He says "Winkle, Winkle, Winkle, Winkle," and it does the ABCs, the A, B, C, D. But he's the only person that's allowed to sing it. Don't try joining in with his singing, because he will have a tantrum, a full-blown tantrum of why are you singing over my song right now? Annabelle is supposed to be the little singer of the house. She goes choir and all that. And when she practices her music, he'll come in, turn off her karaoke thing. Like, why are you singing for? Who told you you can sing? No, but she's so good. I'm lucky that she's a good big sister, and she'll cut it out for a little bit and kick him out of the bedroom.
Jess, how did you feel when obviously they came over and did what they had to do, and then they kind of gave you the result? Did your heart sink a bit, or because you already kind of had a feeling because of your previous nannying, so you kind of were ready for it? I guess
when I had suspicions of him having autism, just because I think the uncertainty, and I feel like, not in a bad way, I mean, my partner is 100% supportive in that, but guys sometimes need a little bit more convincing. He has this whole, don't need to go doctors, don't need painkillers, just use your mind, then you'll get over it. He's got that kind of, so I think I was more nervous of trying to make him understand what it was. But I mean, when he got assessed, although his interaction isn't fully there, they were like, he's saying some words, so we're hoping that with some therapy that he'll hopefully by year 2 be all right, go to school by himself, which would be my main worry as he grows up. Right now it's all right because he's not in full primary school like that, but sometimes you get worried that children can be cruel, and sometimes they don't understand certain things. And
well, I was going to say, we don't live in a society that's accommodating to people that do have autism, and it just means that an autistic kid will have to work that extra bit harder to function about anywhere they go.
For Ethan, they offered him an occupational therapist, which means that he would get somebody in school to support him during the day for him himself, to kind of shadow him around the school and that. But I think it's a lot of pressure in. You've got to kind of call them kind of quite a lot. They make you go to a workshop where they explain things, and you kind of have to do what kind of works for you. And autistic or not, you know your own kids. Yeah. You kind of know what they need.
That's the most important thing.
And it's your love and patience at the end of the day as well. Making, like you said, like he's happy at the moment. Yeah. And that's really what counts.
100%.
No, like you said, like it's no one knows him better than you, and you know what works for him. So that's pretty much it, really.
He's a little star, he is. He's a little star. Just got to try and do the best, isn't it?
Always. And the best is always enough. Yeah. We just sometimes have to repeat that to ourselves. I think as mothers, we give ourselves a hard time sometimes. And especially, I mean, I don't know how you're doing it. With 3, I can just about get through a day with 1. So I take off my hat to you. Anyone who has more than 1 kid, I'm just like, wow. I am so drained at the end of the day.
Like, how do you even balance having more than 1 kid? When literally the whole house revolves around mummy, even your partner's like, hey, where can I get this or that? It's like, oh my God.
He might as well. He does.
Literally, like, honestly, like, how do you find time for yourself around all of this?
Little to none. I'm currently going to bed extremely, like, late, and I look like a zombie. But if I don't take an hour or 2 after the kids, whenever the kids go to sleep, to be fair, because if it's not even can be up until 3-4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and then fall asleep at 2, then Harvey will wake up, Ethan will hear him, now Ethan's up again, and then I'm up until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes, if and when, I will have a large glass of wine and watch some crappy TV, and then tell myself they're not going to be toddlers forever. This is just a phase. Hold on.
Yeah.
5 years.
When Love Island was on, my child started to, have decent sleep. And I thought, oh my God, this is the time for me to actually catch up on all the sleep I've not had for the past months. Love Island will go on and I'll say, okay, I'm going to go to bed at 10. Tell me now, why is it 1 a.m. and I'm still on the sofa watching TV? You need that time, yeah. And like you're saying, it's like you just have to sacrifice it for what, tomorrow will be a better day, or like maybe tomorrow I'll go to bed early. But it's just like a catch-22. It's like the kids have gone to bed early, I should probably go to sleep, but actually this is the only time that I can sit and think in peace and hear my own thoughts and enjoy TV. And
something as late as watching Housewives without nobody coming into the room every 2 minutes. Mami, un cafecito. ¿Sabes dónde está mi medias? Mom. And then you get the other one. This thing that if he sees me carrying Harvey, he'll jump on my back and then swing himself around. So then I'm having to carry both of them.
Yeah, Joel and Caden do that to me, and they think it's like fun. And I'm thinking, like, are you going to pay for my back surgery later on in life?
You better hope they get a good job.
Well, they better. I'm going to start making them work from now, like,
Oh, and then you have your partner like, can you arch your back for me tonight, please? It's like, no.
Yeah, literally.
Like, did you not see what the kids are doing to me?
Like mid-sex,
honestly,
stop
shaking your leg or your back.
You can't even move because your back is so broken.
Yeah, and you're like butt naked, just laying there thinking, this must not look sexy, but whatever.
Imagine Jeff cuts hair, so he suffers from his back and stuff from where he stands all day as well. Can you imagine both of them?
Like 80-year-olds having sex. It's like Jess says, she's always like, let's just have sex in like little spoon positions.
Mama's code.
Finding a balance and juggling and getting some me time, some mummy time for yourself is tough at times.
Yeah, so it's not possible at this time.
Whoever's thinking about having kids, it's not possible.
But I think let's be honest, yeah. Okay, maybe the first one you'll be like, oh crap, it wasn't meant to be this much. But then after the first one, you have no excuse not to know what you're getting yourself into, right? I'm just rocking myself backwards and forwards and just reminding myself.
Yeah.
No matter cinco añitos.
Even cinco añitos, Jess, I think you're selling like a dream, because I've got a 5-year-old and my guy wakes up at 6 and like is knocking on my door. Oh, I feel you, man. I remember them times. And especially babies that they sell you dreams. Like one night they will sleep a full night and then in your brain, and it's funny, isn't it? Just because like you've been through it 3 times, I've been through it twice, and that this kid is not going to sleep like this tomorrow, but you play yourself and you're like, this is it for the rest of the life.
When they do it for
the next night he won't
sleep on a roll, and you think, oh my gosh, yes, we've nailed it, and like you said, it just goes tits up.
Yeah, so that would be Ethan. Ethan sold me a dream when he was first born. He slept like all night from 12 to 9, like all night. No se despertaba. And Harvey's like, I ain't sold you no dream. Don't sleep. Don't bother go bed. No, ni se ponga la pijama.
Why do you even need sleep?
He napped
literally
for about 2.5 to 3 hours. That's as long as of a break I'll get off him.
Jess, so we obviously are fully aware that you're doing an amazing job, but I think in every episode we've touched base on, you're not just a mum. Like, you obviously have something outside of like being a mum that fulfills you too. And for you, it's obviously Jess's kitchen. So tell us a bit about that. And are we going to get free?
It's Erica's and mine's birthday next week. So, I mean, cake would be good too. I see you do some good cake.
Yeah.
Oh, toca entonces double fiesta, mija. Jess's kitchen. Yes, so much fun. I am a feeder. I love feeding. seeing people eat, watching people eat, and not actually eating myself.
So you sit there and stare at them while they eat.
Is that weird? Do you like it? Try that one. Try that one. I literally enjoy watching people eat, not necessarily just my food. Just in general, I like seeing what people enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm a foodie. And then a couple of years back, I think I had friends that didn't eat certain this, certain that, and I kind of started doing pues, si yo lo cocino, I'll try it. Then from about 18, 19, everyone was like, oh, you cook nice, you monte restaurante. And then it just kind of progressed more and more and more. And then about 4 years ago, I opened Jess's Kitchen just to sell empanadas. And I was smashing it. Estaba haciendo hasta 300 empanadas un fin de semana.
Wow. On top of looking after the kids and yourself and everything.
Yeah. So then, but I think that's why I've kind of slowed down a little bit. It is hard, to juggle it. Las empanadas, cuando las vendo, I'm putting in 14-hour shift because I'm fussed. Nobody else is touching it. Everything is fresh, out the stove, onto the car, and out for delivery.
Can't wait, to be honest. Isolation be over like tomorrow.
Is Jess's Kitchen ever, like, do you see it coming out into a restaurant?
Kind of figure out whether I'm going to go into catering or open up a kiosk on the market. I think that would be my two end goals, because I think the market, when you have kids, you need to have a balance. I can't be doing a 14-hour shift. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And then my kids.
Corona, is that you?
Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, so hopefully 14-hour shifts is too much. Hopefully the end product will be a market.
That's cool though. Imagine like a hot summer's day, you go to, I don't know, Brick Lane or Brixton food markets or Shoreditch Box Park, wherever it is, and you just come across Jess's Kitchen's hub.
Well, have you seen Mel? Me and Mel would always, like, around our work, we would always go to this. Yeah. Well, we wouldn't always, but we would always used to see that this, I think it's called La Mulata, and it's like a little store, and they sell like arepa con like rellenas. It is amazing.
And the crowd goes wild.
Literally.
I just want to put it out there as well that should you ever need people to try your food, we are more than happy.
Actually, ladies, I was thinking I wanted to throw out some food and get people to do little reviews on foods and that to keep it going, because
can I review it tomorrow?
You need to stop this. By the time this isolation's over, I'm going to be rolling out of this bloody house if I fit through the door frame.
See, don't send it to Jess. Just send it to me and Melissa. She's already complaining. I don't mind being fat. I'm happy.
There's no going back.
This is back. Unless he wants to pay for the divorce because of my fatness, then he can go through it. I don't care.
I think the day I stop getting laid will be the day I stop eating. No, but 100% Jess's Kitchen is goals. Yeah. We'll be lining up there whenever you open it.
100%. And we'll support 100% when you're back on track and this isolation is all over.
You know what? I'm so hungry now. This has been fun. Jess, you know what? It's a lot of... I personally learned a lot, and I think there's going to be quite a few people who listen to us as well that will find this quite eye-opening and, educational. So thank you for sharing your experience and
thank you for having me. Thanks. And I'm glad that I could share, hopefully, like you said, someone with a smaller kid than mine might know what traits. It's harder with autism. The main thing is the earlier you're able to catch on to it, the better. And because they don't understand things the way that we do normally. And that's a lot of their frustrations and their tantrums. So the quicker you're able to spot things, again, you're looking for things, maybe rather than walking flat on their feet at 18 months, they'll be walking on their tiptoes a lot more. That's a telltale sign. Again, not looking, even though, I knew Ethan was not deaf because he was dancing to J Balvin every day. But go and call him by his name or try and talk to him. He does not look at you, Definitely have a look at your telltale signs. There is no harm in going to your GP and saying, listen, I feel a bit worried. Can I get a referral? it takes a year really push at it, because if they do end up having autism or anything like that, the sooner they can be seen and get therapy and stuff, the better for them in the long run.
You know, we close off an episode, we always love to give a golden tip, and I think that was just perfect, what you've just said.
That would be my golden tip. Or at least make somebody feel like, well, at least it's not only me.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, sometimes I think I beat myself up and be like, oh.
Yeah.
So when I hear other people relate to the things I'm doing, it makes me feel better.
No, and just to like finish it off, like I'm sure like I can speak for me and the girls, and we just think you're doing an incredible job. You know, everything you juggle day on, it's just, you know, it's actually quite amazing to see how much you do. And, you know, like you say, sometimes it is very difficult, but like Ethan and every autistic child out there, you know, their minds are just so special.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in, and Mama's Code out. Mwah. Mama's Code.
After that, I don't want to hear any bird sounds ever again.